Hello everybody, welcome to Brown's Cooking Show. I'm going to invite some people in, so give me just a second. Welcome to the show. Going on the screen, inviting a bunch of people. So if I'm black, don't worry about it. I will be back momentarily. I'm just punching down the invite list and inviting a bunch of people to see the show. Thank you for tuning in. We've got some very special announcements to make today. So stand by. A lot of people on my list to invite. All right. So thank you everybody for joining in. Hey Becky, hey Jonathan, how you doing? All right, welcome everybody. Thank you for joining in. Thank you for watching the show. Got some special announcements to make today. Welcome to Brown's Cooking Show. We're actually going to make a pork pad thai today. So the recipe is going to go pretty quickly. Doesn't take long to make this. Now I'm actually using, I'm just going to talk about the noodles we're using for a minute for this pad thai. We're actually using rice noodles, and you can pick these up in any grocery store. And there's a fast way to prepare them and a slower way to prepare them. I actually prepared these the slower way because they do get a little bit different flavor if you prepare them different ways. So if you prepare them the slow way, you actually put them in cold water and let them soak for about 30 to 40 minutes. So it's a little bit longer preparation process to get those noodles softened up. But if you're in a hurry and you want to do it quickly, you can boil water and then put them in the boiling water for only about 4 minutes, and then they're done and ready to go. But we actually, I soaked these in cold water for about 35 minutes, and they're nice and soft now. And you can tell that if you just take one of the noodles out and just kind of take your nail and just kind of pop through it, and it pops. You still want it to have a little bit of bite to it while you're using it, but we're going to put these in the pad thai here in just a minute. Pretty important announcement. I'm really happy to announce, wow, we're up to 6 live viewers. Thank you very much. Hey Stuart, how you doing? Hey Linda. Hey Helen, how you doing? Very important announcement. I'm very happy to announce that we have the YouTube channel for Brown's Cooking Show up and running. I will be sending out a message on my Facebook later this evening with the URL to get to the YouTube channel. I've posted one of the videos that I've done on live up there already, and I'm going to be posting more up there. The YouTube channel is going to be a different thing for us. It's going to allow us to do some dishes that aren't all prepared right here in front of you live. Still going to be going on and doing some lives for different things. But it will give us a chance to do things that actually have to go in the oven for a little bit, that you just don't want to sit here and listen to me talk for 30 minutes while it's sitting in the oven. So we're actually going to do that. We're going to put some slow cooker stuff on there, so I'll get it ready in the morning, and then we'll film the rest of it at night and show you what it looks like, and then get it posted up on YouTube. And then we'll always post everything on Facebook, linking you back to the YouTube video. So stay tuned though. Towards the end of the broadcast tonight on live on Facebook, I'm going to announce a special contest for anybody and everybody who subscribes to my YouTube channel in the next 7 days. So stay tuned for that contest, and we'll also send that out on the Facebook message. So look for my Facebook post tonight. Okay, so we're making pad thai. Pad thai is a really good Thai recipe, and the great thing about pad thai is that it's very versatile. You can use pad thai with chicken. We're actually doing pork today, but you can use chicken, beef, any protein you want. You can use tofu to make a vegetarian pad thai. I actually had that before. It's really good. And so it's very versatile as to what you can use it for. You can use fish, you can use shrimp, you can use scallops, any kind of protein really that you can think of, you can use to make your base for your pad thai. All the other ingredients are pretty much the same. It's a really simple dish to make, and it really comes out tasting really good. And you can change it up if you want to add in green onions, or you want to add in some shredded cabbage. It's a really versatile dish that you can really do whatever you want to with, just as long as you use the basic ingredients. Now we're making a pretty basic pad thai here. We're going to be using, we've got our eggs, we've got some soy sauce with our fish sauce, a little sesame seed vinegar. We're using apple cider vinegar instead of white vinegar. Most recipes for pad thai will actually call for white vinegar, but I like the apple cider vinegar because it adds a little bit of sweetness to it. So we're going to use our avocado oil today because we're going to be cooking on a fairly high heat. And as we talked about, we don't want to use our olive oil on a high heat because it's got a high smoke factor, and you'll just end up smoking the house up and setting off the detectors. So the first thing we're going to do is we've got that pan heated up pretty good right there, and we've got our raw pork. So we're just going to dump our raw pork right in there on that oil, start to listen to it sizzle. Now I've actually got a little bit of leftover pork from a pork shoulder I did the other day, so I'm actually going to throw that in there with it. But for right now, we're just going to have the pork in there. So we just want to get that around there in that oil, and we want to kind of brown this pork up. Now we're going to pull it out, and then we're going to cook it again once we get the eggs going. But we want to get a little bit of brownness on that pork. So we're just going to roll it around in there. As usual, now that we have put our pork in there, we're going to season a little bit. We're going to go ahead and put some salt and pepper on it. This is our Mediterranean sea salt. And then our 5-pepper, fresh ground pepper. And we're just going to season that meat up a little bit, because as we've talked about before, we want to build those layers of flavor. So we're adding that seasoning directly to the meat. So the seasoning is actually on the meat, not so much just in the dish. We're going to have plenty of other seasonings in the dish to go with everything else, but for right now we just want to brown this meat up. Okay, so a little bit of a departure we're making from a normal pad thai recipe. We're actually going to add a little bit of ginger to this. You can add ginger, or you can add ground garlic to it, even some fresh garlic cloves in it. It's good as well. But you know, it's a really, I like pad thai because, one, I love the flavor of pad thai, and two, it's just such a versatile dish. You can pretty much do whatever you want to with it. Once you use the basic ingredients, whatever you want to do to make it your own with what you want, you can do. There's really no rules to it. Alright, so we're just getting that browned up a little bit in there. Not a problem. So for those of you that have just joined us, I noticed we got some new viewers on. Just made the announcement today. We've actually started the YouTube channel for Brown's Cooking Show. You can actually go on YouTube and search Brown's Cooking Show. But make sure when you search it, you put a capital letter on Brown, capital letter on Cooking, and capital letter on Show to be able to pull it up. So it's Brown Cooking Show, all one word. That'll take you to the channel. I'm going to send a link out to it on my Facebook later today or later this evening, and that'll let everybody subscribe up to it and be able to take a look at it. And we'll be able to get some videos posted up there of cooking some things that take a little bit longer than what I can do right in front of you here on a live. So, for those of you that just joined us, we're actually making a pad thai tonight for dinner, and it's going to be a really good little meal for us. We're just browning up our pork right now, which is almost done. If you want to, you can use any large skillet you have, or you can use a wok if you have one. So whatever you have, you can use. All right, so we've got that pork kind of browned up. So now we're just going to take it out and set it to the side over here in our bowl. Now the rest of this recipe is going to go pretty quick, only going to take about 10 minutes now start to finish once I get this pork out of here. And like I was saying earlier, I like pad thai because you can do a lot with it. It's you know, it's very versatile. I'm going to add a little extra oil into the bottom of the pan here, and let that kind of roll around in there, heat up. All right. So now we got our eggs. So we're going to go ahead and put our eggs in here. This is 4 eggs scrambled up and ready to go. So we're just going to pour it right in there on top of our oil. Grab our little scraper out here so we can kind of fry those eggs up and scramble those eggs. So we want to give those eggs about 2 or 3 minutes to scramble up. We're going to go ahead again, and especially with eggs, we want to season them. So we're going to add a little bit of salt into those eggs, and then a little bit of pepper as well. All right. Now we're just going to finish letting those eggs scramble up. We want them to get not real hard, but we want it to be where they're just not runny anymore. Because then we're going to add our pork right back into it and let it cook the rest of the way with the pork in it. Okay, so they're kind of at a soft scramble right now, which is about what we're looking for. Good little soft scramble there. All right. So we're going to go ahead and add our pork back in that we just cooked. Juice is included. And this is our leftover pork from the shoulder the other day. We're going to pop that in there. And now we're just going to spend a couple of minutes just cooking that some more right in there with those eggs. And just let those eggs cook down. We want those flavors to meld together with the eggs and the pork. And then we're going to add our noodles in. So we don't have to stir this constantly, so we're going to let it go for a minute. I can tell you again about these noodles. These are actually the rice noodles. And we did these in a preparation that uses cold water. It takes a little bit longer. But you can do it if you need to do it a little bit quicker. You can actually boil these for about 4 minutes. And that will get it done for you. They'll get nice and soft. John, you getting hungry now? All right. Okay, so we just want to keep stirring this around. We don't want those eggs to brown up too much. The only thing we want is for them to cook through. We got that pork in there. Now I cut my pork pieces into a little bit bigger pieces because I like to have a chunk of pork in my mouth when I bite into it. Like I said, it's a very versatile dish. You can cook just about any protein you want with it. If you want to use, if you're a vegetarian, works great with tofu, or you can use beef, any kind of protein. I've done it with scallops and shrimp, some nice fresh fish. You need a fish that's a little meatier, that's not going to fall apart on you, though. So make sure you get like a halibut or a perch or something that's a pretty heavy white fish to go in it, because that's going to make sure that it doesn't fall apart on you. Okay, so that is pretty much all cooked up there. So now we're going to add in our noodles. We're going to add in about 12 ounces of our noodles. This is actually about 16, so we're not going to quite use all of it tonight. But you'll notice the noodles are quite long. And that's okay. You want to be able to roll it around on your fork or your chopsticks, whatever you're using. So we're just going to make sure, and a good rule of thumb is, make sure that all of your protein that you have down the bottom of the pan is covered by those noodles. Now we're going to pull our tongs back out, because we've got to use our tongs to be able to get in there and get those noodles moved around. And don't be afraid if you make a little bit of mess. It's okay. You know, it's not exactly the neatest preparation in the world, but you know, you might make a little bit of mess while you're doing it, and that's okay. Actually, if you make a little bit of mess like mine, the dogs are really happy because they gather around your feet and they get anything that might drop on the ground. Okay, so we started getting that in there and moved around. So now we're going to add in the rest of our wet ingredients. All right, and we're going to start out with our apple cider vinegar. Now, like I said, most pad thai recipes will call for a white vinegar, a white wine vinegar. I actually like an apple cider vinegar because it adds a little bit of sweetness to it as well as the vinegar, as well as a little bit of the sour. So we got about 2 tablespoons of that, and then next we've got our soy sauce. So we've got about 1/4 cup of soy sauce, 2 tablespoons of fish sauce, and 1 tablespoon of sesame seed oil in here. That sesame seed oil is going to add a little bit of a nice flavor to it as well. So we're just going to pour this in there. And then we're going to take our tongs and we're just going to start stirring it up again. Now you'll notice that those noodles are starting to cook down just a little bit, and that's okay. They're supposed to. But make sure you get that seasonings that you just put in there all over the noodles, all over that meat. Now I know a lot of pad thai recipes also call for adding in fresh peanuts, fresh cut peanuts. I like fresh cut peanuts in it, but I also enjoy putting a peanut sauce in it. And I've actually got a gluten-free peanut sauce that I really like. So we're actually going to add that in. And I got about 2 tablespoons of the peanut sauce. So it's pretty thick, so we're just going to dribble that around in there on top. And use our tongs and make sure we get all of it out of there, because that peanut sauce is a great flavor in that pad thai. Alright, get that all stirred around in there, get it mixed in with that pork and the eggs. Alright, that's looking good and it's smelling good too. Jonathan, you think you were hungry just watching me make it. If you were here, you'd be more hungry because you could smell this. All right, now a couple more ingredients we're going to add in there. We're going to add in a tablespoon or a teaspoon of crushed red pepper, and that's just going to add a little bit of spice to it for us, not much, but a little bit. And then we're going to add in 2 teaspoons of ground ginger. And that ground ginger is going to give us another layer of flavor in there as well. Alright, so now we got those in there. Now we're just going to stir that up a little bit more. And believe it or not, this is almost done. You can really, it's amazing. You use that ginger, and as soon as you use it, you can start smelling that ginger flavor come out. If you want to use fresh ginger, you can. Make sure you use a microplaner to grate it up. So that you're not having big chunks of ginger in there. I like the ground ginger for something like this because you get the flavor of it, and then you get it all mixed in there to all the different places. Alright, that is looking good. Okay, so our last ingredients, and we wait till the very end because we're going to go ahead and turn the heat off. We have a little bit of our bean shoots, and this is about 2 cups of bean shoots. The reason why we added in last and we go ahead and turn the heat off is we don't want them to get really soft. We want that little bit of pop in there when we get to the end. So we're going to add those right into the top. And we're just going to stir those in there. They will heat a little bit just off of the natural or residual heat of everything else we've done. Whoop, lost my tongs there for a minute. All right. Alright, and that, my friends, is pad thai. You know, you go to a Thai restaurant and you see these dishes on the menu like pad thai and that, and you think, wow, it's a complicated dish to make. It's really not that complicated to make. It's kind of easy, actually, but it tastes really good, and it's just a good way to go. So we're going to go ahead and serve this up. and we're just going to take a bunch of our noodles like that, put it in the middle of the plate, kind of give it a little spin. A little bit more noodles. Give it a little bit of a spin there, kind of hold it off. All right, and then we're going to get down here and we're going to get some of our pork because it tends to float off to the side a little bit. Pop it right up there on it. And right there is our pad thai. Really quick dish. I don't exactly know how long we've been on doing this for this dish, but it's been under 15 minutes to get this done. Nice fresh meal that you can have at home, serve at home. So really important. I know I've said it already, and for those of you that are just joining, we've started our YouTube channel, Brown's Cooking Show on YouTube. Excuse me. I'm going to send out a link to it later today on my Facebook. Please share it out. Share the video out. I'm running a contest for the next 7 days, so anybody who signs up or subscribes to my Facebook or to my YouTube channel between now and the end of the day and midnight next Thursday, so that's 7 full days, midnight next Thursday, will be entered in a drawing to win a special prize. So go follow the link, go out to YouTube, sign up for the YouTube channel. We're still going to do some lives, but you know, we're going to post some other things out on the YouTube channel. I'm going to do some smoking, give some smoking tips. We've got a lot of plans for what's going on out there, so it's going to be good. So keep watching. We're also going to continue to do these lives every now and then, but continue to watch. We'll post it on Facebook when we get something new up on YouTube. Going to get something out there at least once a week. Going to try to do twice a week because I can do them pre-recorded. So thank you everybody for tuning in. Remember, we made pad thai today. Really good, simple recipe you can make. Nice hearty meal for you to have at home. And as you can see, plenty enough to feed a family of 4. And all the ingredients in here cost me less than 25 bucks. So thank you everybody for joining me today. Thank you for signing in. Please like and share this video. If we get to 400 likes and shares and views on this video, we will give away a special prize for that as well. So thank you everybody for tuning in. Healthy eating and have a great day.